Yun, sa sa course ninyo na BS Criminology, madaming terms na sinasabing walang single definition. For example, terrorism, cybercrime, yung mga yan, walang iisang definition lang. Ganun din ang character at character formation. But we will try to discuss all the definitions and we can come up with our own definition of it. Or it can serve as our guide. Okay, so we live in a pluralist and rapidly changing culture in which we should choose to positively construct our characters using a variety of resources. We take what we find and use what we have from the situations we find ourselves in to build our characters, di ba? Nagdedepende, may mga pagkakataon na nagdedepende ang character natin sa kung ano ang sitwasyon, kung nasaan tayo, kung ano yung nararamdaman natin, di ba? While there is broad agreement about the importance of character formation, this does not extend to the content of what it is or how it ought to be taught. Madaming nagsasabi na mahalaga ang character formation. And I know you would agree with me na mahalaga talaga ma-form ang character, di ba? Pangit naman kung lumaki kang bastos, kung parang hindi ba maganda yung character mo. And walang iisang paraan para maituro to. Nor whether it should be part of the formal or informal school curriculum. Yun nga eh. Hindi pa daw sure kung dapat ba siyang maging parte ng curriculum. Although sa atin, isinama natin. Sa curriculum ninyo ngayon na BS Criminology, ang gamit niyo ay ang 2018 curriculum. Kasama na tong subject na to. And this is also part of the board exam. Ito, character formation. But during our time, before 2018, ang gamit namin ay yung old curriculum. Wala kaming ganitong subject. Kumbaga, hindi siya part ng formal curriculum. Matututunan na lang namin ito sa labas ng classroom. Pag nakasalamuhan na namin yung mga teacher, yung mga ibang kaklase, mga kabatch namin, mga schoolmates namin, mga kasamahan sa church, and kung saan-saan pa, doon na maituturo or madedevelop yung ating character. So there is similarly difficulty in measuring and quantifying character, say, when compared to the acquisition of knowledge via examinations and attainment measures. Hindi lahat ng bagay ay maka-quantify. Pag sinabi natin quantify, mabibigyan ng bilang. Katulad sa exams, di ba? Mabibilang natin kung ilan ang score mo, kung ilan ang tama mong sagot, ilan ang mali mong sagot. Di ba? Kung ang quiz ay over meron 10 items, nakuha mo 6. O di ang score mo, ang tama mo doon ay 6. But in character, you cannot quantify it. Hindi mo siya mabibigyan ng bilang. It is also the case that the goal of character formation does not of itself dictate specific decisions. It simply provides a way of thinking about what policies and practices might assist in achieving the goal. With these initial caveats and limitations, one might ask why it is so important that we study character. It has never been more important in our time of exponential change to build the foundations of good character in every human being, since character is who we are and what we do. Talagang, ang dami kasing lugar, ang daming bagay na kung saan pwede tayong matuto, pwede tayong maimpluwensyahan. Mahalaga na mapag-aralan natin ang mga bagay patungkol sa character at sa character formation para kumbaga magabayan tayo na tamang character ang mabuo natin at hindi bad character. Kasi, kung ano yung character natin, yun tayo. Ito si Leslie. Mabait yan. Ito si Leslie. Honest yan. Hindi yan nandadaya sa mga examinations. Yung mga ganun. Kumbaga, makikilala kasi tayo bilang makikilala tayo base sa ating character. So the nurturing of character is not void of stable meaning for the future of society depends on people of good character. Para maging maganda ang mundo kung saan tayo nakatira, kailangan yung mga namumuno, kailangan yung mga parte nito, parte tayo ng mundo, ay may magandang character. Kasi kung puro bad character, di ba? Dami balita, patayan, puro kidnapan, rape, at kung ano-ano pang krimen. Eh kung puro ganun ang tao sa mundo, anong klaseng mundo meron tayo? Di ba? Nakakatakot. Parang ayaw mo na lang lumabas ng bahay. Ang masama pa, baka kasama ka doon. Maging magnanakaw ka rin, o kaya mamamatay tao. Kaya, mahalaga nga na mapag-aralan yung mabuting character. The sad reality that we face now is that the capacity of our environment and natural ecosystems is pushed to the brink by the growing needs of the global economy. Isa yan sa mga bagay na matatakal natin. Yung natural resources, yung natural ecosystems, yung ating environment, parang nasasagad na siya. Kasi, pangangailangan ng tao matindi na. Ayan. Then food and water security, threat of natural calamities, climate change, and health issues are being exacerbated by the continued use and exploitation of the environment. So, deforestation, pollution of waterways and the oceans, air pollution, soil erosion, and even the extinction of plant and animal species have increased over the past few decades, alongside the development, advancement, and industrialization of the world economy. Kumbaga, dumadami yung problem natin sa environment dahil nagkakaroon ng advancement ang tao, nagiging industrialized. Yung mga farmland, ginagawang subdivision, yung mga bundok, as in literal na tinatapyas para makakuha ng lupa. Di ba? So to address these global environmental issues and problems, various laws have been enacted and rules and regulations have been issued to protect the environment and regulate the development and use of natural resources. The standards and requirements have likewise been imposed on activities affecting the environment, with corresponding penalties for those who would violate the same. Hindi na basta-basta ang pagkilos natin, especially when it comes with the environment. Di ba nga, hindi naman pwede basta-basta magputol ng puno. Pwede magputol sanga, pero yung puno mismo, hindi pwede na basta-basta na lang. Okay. Despite these environmental laws, rules, and regulations, the destruction and deterioration of the world's ecosystem continue unabated. Kahit na may batas, tuloy-tuloy pa rin sa paglabag doon sa batas yung mga tao. Diba? It's a bit sad. Or not, hindi nga bit eh. Talagang, it's really sad na gumawa nga ng batas para protektahan ang environment. Tapos, hayaan lang, hindi man susundin, hindi papansinin. So it meets the purpose. Okay? So dito tayo sa introduction to character formation. So at the end of the lesson, you should be able to define or give the definition of character, enumerate the characteristics of character, identify the importance of character building, identify the helps in character building of a person, and identify the factors impacting character development of a person. So, dito na tayo sa definition ng character. Okay. So, the inherent complex of attributes that determine a person's moral and ethical actions and reactions, yun yung character mo. Complex attributes. Sinabi natin complex, hindi simple. Ibig sabihin, madaming factors, madaming circumstances ang pwedeng maka-contribute dito. At sinasabi nga, it determines a person's moral and ethical actions. Ano ba yung parte ng konsensya niya? The combination of qualities distinguishing any person or class of persons, any distinctive trait or mark or such marks or traits collectively belonging to any person, class, or race. Ano yung mga katangian ng isang tao, ng isang class, or ng isang race? Pagkapampangan, ano ang sinasabing katangian? Sige, anlit kayo. Pagkapampangan, ano raw?
Mayabang daw po.
Oo daw, pagkapampangan, mayabang daw. Parang di baling wala nang makain basta maganda at presentable siya, di ba? Basta branded yung gamit. Yan ang sabi nila sa Kapampangan. O, yun ang pagkakilala sa Kapampangan. Pagkakilanlan niya, character daw niya yun. Kasi nga, sabi, distinctive trait. Isang trait na masasabi natin, Kapampangan yun, yabang eh. Maganda manamit, mukhang mayabang Kapampangan yun. Parang ganun yung mga sinasabi. Pero hindi naman lahat, no? Hindi ako naniniwala doon na lahat ng Kapampangan ay yun. O kami, Ilocano. Sabing Ilocano, kuripot. Although personally, totoo yun. Totoo yun. At yun. Ang distinctive trait or distinguishing trait ng mga Ilocano. O sabihin na natin ako na lang. Okay? So the mental and moral qualities distinctive to an individual sometimes used interchangeably with the word personality. Ayun. Mental and moral qualities. So throughout human history, scholars and people more generally have vigorously debated the purposes, desires, feelings, and habits that guide human conduct. Maaari kasi na sa isang grupo ng tao, tama ang isang bagay. Pero sa isa pang grupo, masasabing hindi tama ang isang bagay. May kasabihan sa criminology na, or sa, regarding terrorism, one man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter. So, maaaring para sa atin, itong grupo ng tao na to, mga terorista yan. Tingin natin sa kanila, terorista. Pero maaari naman sa ibang grupo pa ng tao, ang tingin nila doon, freedom fighter. Kaya, iba-iba ang opinion dito. Kaya sabi, people more generally have vigorously debated, pinagtatalunan yan, kung ano ba yung tamang guide sa human conduct. It was inevitable that discussions of character would become fraught with conflicting definitions and with endless personal and ideological battles. Kasi nga, tao tayo eh. Magkakaiba talaga tayo ng pag-iisip, magkakaiba tayo ng opinion. Kaya hindi rin mismong character hindi ma-define, di ba? So how we are disposed to think, feel, and act is clearly open to argument and interpretation. But the powerful idea of character lies at the heart of this debate, even if there is less agreement on what it means and consists of. Yesterday, I was watching Extraordinary Attorney Woo. Panood niyo na? Sa Netflix. May nakapanood na sa inyo?
Yes
Hindi pa po.
Meron? Di pa? Okay. May isang, spoil ko ng konti, no? Para sa mga hindi pa nakapanood. May isang case doon na may lalaking kinidnap niya yung isang bus na kinidnap niya yung mga bata na nakasakay sa bus. Yung mga bata na yun, estudyante sa school ng mama niya. Ayun. Sinasabi niya, kinidnap niya yung mga bata, tapos pinaglaro lang niya kasi ang paniniwala niya, ang mga bata na ganong edad, 10, 11 years old, dapat daw naglalaro pa. 11. Anong grade ako? Grade 6 ako noon, 11 ako.
Anyong! Okay. Ay, sorry.
Ayun.
Sorry, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. Tinetesting ko lang po yung mic ko. Nasira kasi. Pero totoo, maganda po yun. K-drama na.
Ayun. Tama. Nawala ako. Yan, anyong ka kasi.
Pero Angel.
Ay, sorry, ma'am. Hindi, dun po tayo sa may bus na kinidnap yung bata tapos pinaglaro niya lang.
Ayun.
Yung pinapalaro po, ma'am.
Oo, paniniwala nung offender. Paniniwala ng offender na mali yung ginagawa nung school. Kasi nga, hindi pinapag-break. Bawal lumabas yung estudyante from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. Tapos kung magpapaalam, kung magsi-CR sila, kailangan pang magpaalam. Kapag mula dun sa 3 p.m. to 10 p.m., nag-CR ng 3 times ata, parang parurusahan na yung bata. Kumbaga, very rigid yung pag-aaral. Imagine, grade 6 yun sa atin. Tama ba? Oo, grade 6 yun sa atin. Tapos gano'n, mag-study siya from 3 to 10 p.m. Tapos 10 p.m. pa lang sila makakapag-dinner. Kaya siya, kaya niya kinidnap yung mga bata kasi pinaglaro niya. Paniniwala niya nga, ayun, di ba? Sa batas, mali yung ginawa niya kasi technically kidnapping talaga yun. Kinuha niya yung mga bata, di ba? Although sinabi niya na pwede silang lumabas kung ayaw nilang sumama. Pero ayun na nga, sumama yung mga bata, pinaglaro niya. Sa kanya, tama yung ginawa niya. Kumbaga, pinaglaban niya nga yung mga bata. Ano nga daw siya eh. ah, Commander-in-Chief ng Children's Liberation Army. Liberate niya. Pinalaya daw yung mga bata mula dun sa rigid na pag-aaral. But in the eyes of the law, in the eyes of the parents of the children, mali yung ginawa niya. So yun, di ba? Magkakaiba ang ideology ng tao, kaya magkakaiba yung character. Okay? So the origins of the word are not surprisingly Greek. Character signifying an engraved mark impressed upon a coin or seal, a kind of stamp impressed by nature or education which marks out individuality. Sabi nga, ang character ay nilalagay sa coin or sa seal na parang stamp. Although related pa rin siya ngayon kasi pag sinabi natin character, yan yung stamp mo. Yan yung katangian mo. Ito yung parang pirma mo eh. Yung pagkakilanlan mo. Through the centuries, this has come largely to mean the complex sum of ideas or qualities distinctive of individuals and which need to be understood without particular context, both historical and modern. Character is a multifaceted aggregate of ideas and qualities that significantly vary between individuals. Yun nga, magkakaiba talaga bawat tao. It is what makes us different from each other. And like personality, it constitutes our distinguishing attributes. Today, character is often conflated with personality and personal growth. Gaps in character formation clearly correlate to gaps in income, family function, education, and employment. Minsan nga, di ba, na-attribute natin na masamang tao o kaya hindi nga maganda ang personality o hindi maganda ang character ng isang tao base sa education. Which personally, I think is wrong. Bakit pag may PhD ka, perfecto ka na, mabait ka, honest ka, hindi incorruptible ka? Eh minsan nga, di ba, kung sino pa yung may mataas na pinag-aralan, sila pa yung mga masasawa ang ugali, mga pasmado ang bunganga, di ba? So, may mga nagsasabi din na kapag mahirap ka, hindi maganda ang character. Eh, ganyan yun kasi hindi naman mayaman, mahirap lang. Character is also an evaluative concept for its use can be of commendable or culpable nature. Character qualities in the popular mind are often viewed through a lens with descriptive adjectives in order to distinguish types of character, good or bad, stable or unstable ang character, noble or base, strong or weak, high or low, and odd or no character. This evaluation of someone's character qualities can suggest the existence of lack of admirable character qualities. Kapag sinabing weak ang character niyan, pag sinabing low character, unstable ang character niyan, nasasabi yun kasi meron daw kakulangan sa magagandang character qualities. Lack of existence or lack of admirable character qualities. So kapag sinabi natin, o another example, pag sinabi natin ang isang tao ay ah, nakapag, sabi natin, abogado. Pag abogado, ang ine-expect natin yung pinaglalaban yung tama, di ba? At kapag ang abogado ay honest, truthful, masasabi natin meron siyang noble character o kaya good character. Kasi nga, base doon sa katangian niya, di ba? Okay, so ultimately, the way a person reacts to a situation defines their character, which is often associated with virtuous behavior, which is to act on virtue from some particular motivation. Kapag may na-experience tayo, kahit anong bagay, may sumampal sa atin, may sumipa sa atin, may bumati sa atin ng good morning, magbabase doon yung reaction natin, magbabase doon yung magiging character na ipapakita natin sa kanila. Eh kung may nag-greet sa'yo, ay ma'am, ang ganda-ganda mo naman today. Ang sagot mo, today lang ba? So kumbaga, maganda yung araw mo nun. So yung approach mo doon sa tao na yun ay istorbo. Yung approach mo sa tao na yun, yung character na ipapakita mo sa kanya ay yung maganda. Diba? Okay, so why is character important? Sabi ni Warren Dennis, that after vision and passion, integrity is the most basic fundamental competency to be a leader. He further points out that integrity is the trust. So kailangan ang isang tao may integridad, lalo na ang isang leader. Kayo, future leaders din kayo. Kung pangarap ninyo na maging police officer or fire officer or kung anumang law enforcement agency or baka gusto nyo rin maging katulad namin na teacher, you are considered a leader. And what a leader should possess is integrity. Yun yung character. Okay. According to Herbert Spencer's statement that education has for its object the formation of character is often cited among educationalists. But there is no body of scholarly literature in which the meaning of this statement is used with any consensus. Much controversy surrounds the definition of character formation. Perhaps this is because schooling can never complete the formation of character. Di ba? Sabi ko sa inyo kanina na hindi matatapos ang character formation sa school lang. Kahit na graduate ka na ng college, nag-masters ka pa, nag-PhD ka pa, nag-law ka pa, nag-medicine ka pa, at kung ano-ano pang pinag-aralan mo, hindi matatapos ang pag-form ng character. Kasi pwedeng ma-form ka ng masama, ma-form ka ng maganda, di ba? Or reach a terminal point in any of the stages of formal education. Ayan. Okay. So learning and education are lifelong endeavors. So panghabang buhay pala na siya. And it is only through the trials of life that someone can be considered to be educated in character. Kapag may nasagupa na siyang problema o isang sitwasyon na hindi masyadong pabor doon sa tao, hindi masyadong maganda para doon sa tao, doon masusukat ang kaalaman natin o doon masusukat yung character natin. Paano kung may business ka, tas na bankrupt? Anong mangyayari sa'yo? Doon makikita ang character mo. Magpupursige ka ba? O ayaw mo na? Aasa ka na lang sa magulang mo. Aasa ka na lang sa kung sino-sino. Manlilimos ka na lang. Yun. Doon makikita yung character mo kapag nahirapan ka na. Kapag dumating na ang trial sa buhay. And take note, walang exempted sa trials. Lahat tayo sinusubok ng buhay. Hindi tao kapag walang problema. The learning is the process of change that occurs for the individual. And it is an individual experience. Hindi yan maituturo ng minsan. Tapos pare-parehas kayo ng matututunan.
Ayun. Next, character formation is an umbrella term that involves all implicit and explicit educational activities that build the character of people. The range and diversity of what can be reasonably called character formation permits a great deal of variation in the content of character formation. The location for character formation includes educational institutions, yun yung mga school, matututo kayo na ma-form ang character ninyo. But it also involves engagement with voluntary organizations, communities, mga kapitbahay ninyo, yung barangay ninyo, society, and the state. In other words, kahit saan at sa lahat ng lugar, pwedeng ma-form at ma-form talaga ang character mo. Character formation aims to nurture the ethical, intellectual, civic, social, and personal development of individuals. However, the umbrella nature of the term has grown with it being used to describe teaching which is associated with well-being, positive education, moral education, citizenship, behavioral strategies, social and emotional learning, religious education, personal growth, health education, and mental health. So lahat ng yan, sakop niya ang character formation. Sabi nga natin kanina, hindi lang sa school natututunan ang character formation. Sa lahat ng lugar, di ba? Sabi niya, sa society, sa state. Ano bang meron sa mga yun? Etong mga to. Moral education, citizenship, behavioral strategies, and the others na pag-uusapan natin later on. Okay. It has become an overarching concept that is concerned with anything that involves a continuing learning process and that enables young people and adults to become good, healthy, responsible citizens. Essentially, it aims to help form people so that they can live well in a world worth living in. Para makapamuhay tayo ng maayos sa mundong to, kailangan yung mga kasama natin sa mundo, matino din, di ba? Well-formed ang kanilang character din. In this sense, living well is treated as equivalent to flourishing, which requires the possession, according to Aristotle, of the virtues. Okay. A life worth living is therefore a life lived in accordance with the virtues. Para maging maganda ang pamumuhay, kailangan namumuhay according to virtues. Aristotle's focus is on the ethics of someone's character rather than on their actions, and the best way to know what we should do is to think about how to behave virtuously as opposed to simply following moral rules. Hindi lang tayo basta-basta sumusunod. Katulad nga ng example natin kanina, yung lalaking nag-kidnap ng mga bata. Tinignan niya kung ano ba yung makabubuti para sa mga bata. Sa pananaw niya, makabubuti yung hayaan na maglaro yung mga bata. Hindi lang siya basta sumunod sa moral values. Virtues and their formation therefore give us a guide for living well without giving us specific rules to live by. Kasi yung mga specific rules na yan, makikita yan sa batas. Okay, na bawal pumatay, bawal magnakaw. But virtues, guide natin siya, pero walang specific rule kung paano natin siya i-apply sa buhay natin. To possess a virtue is an achievement as it is about being good at living one's life. Okay, definition ng formation. It is a purposive and conscious process that brings about the development of an individual into a particular thing or shape. Hinuhulma. Formation. Yun yun. Like education, formation means to lead out, to form, to fashion, to forge, but not in a passive way, as the student must be free, active, and cooperative in the process. Kailangan yung estudyante mismo, participative. Hindi pwedeng iasa lang na, kunyari ganito, nagle-lecture si teacher, tapos matututo ka na, magiging mabuting tao ka na. Hindi. Kahit na i-define ko pa ang character formation, basahin ko lahat ng definition niya, kung kayo mismo, hindi nyo siya mai-apply, hindi nyo siya matanggap, wala din. Hindi rin magiging maganda ang character ninyo. Hindi magiging maayos ang pagkahulma sa inyo. The absence of formation can also guide character, but it is really incoherent, unplanned, and random. Wala siya sa ayos kapag gano'n. Formation here is understood as an active concept. For character is never static or truly formed. It is never achieved as a homogeneous whole. Parang tubig, di ba? Kung saan mo ilagay ang tubig, susundan niya yung shape ng container niya. Ganun ang formation. Active siya, active concept siya. Hindi siya basta ibinigay sa inyo, tapos na. Natutunan nyo na siya. Hindi siya ganun. Kasi nga, participative ito. May magdidepende doon sa estudyante. True formation is a planned, conscious process that involves the interplay between both knowledge and experience. Hindi siya basta matutunan lang, hindi siya basta maituro lang. At hindi siya basta na-experience lang. Kasi kung na-experience mo lang, hindi mo niyan alam kung tama ba o hindi. Basta sa'yo, ito naranasan ko na. And this conducive to the good of the individual and society. This must be deliberately planned, chosen, and employed to modify both the behavior and thinking of the child, that he may become different from what he would have been without character formation. Okay, models of character formation. There are several models of character formation. The generic models outlined below are construed as helpful tools or lenses by which we can describe what character formation is or has been in historical reality. In the sense, the models are intended as explanatory and therefore do not claim to be a complete description or explanation of character formation. Each model identifies variables that have a meaningful and significant relationship to the forms of character formation intended as an outcome in each model. Etong mga to, hegemonic, theological, liberal, republican liberal, neoliberal, conservative, psychological, radical, virtue ethics, and commentary are models of character formation. O diba? Diyan pa lang, ang dami na. So, kaya mahirap i-define ang character with a single definition. Kasi nga, ang dami nating pwedeng pagbasehan. Maaaring yung accepted sa theological, hindi naman yun ginagamit sa commentary. So, iba-iba. Okay. So, this will be our topic next meeting.